Have you ever thought about where your produce comes from? Most grocery chains receive produce from various local and national farmers. In fact, there are about 3.4 million farmers in the United States today. But of that staggering number, only 45,000 are Black farmers. At the Better Buggy, we are a proud group of Atlanta-based Black-owned farmers, selling produce locally and nationwide. Our easy-to-navigate online platform makes it easy for you to make a one-time purchase or to simplify your life by subscribing to our weekly produce box. Whichever frequency you choose, you can order with confidence, knowing you'll receive 100% organic farm-fresh produce. If you're looking for a thoughtful gift for a loved one that they'd actually find useful, be sure to pop by our online store where you can snag a gift card your recipient can use to order their own produce and t-shirts. Ready to start supporting local Black-owned farms and making healthier food decisions? Visit thebetterbuggy.com now to start shopping.
Ladies and gentlemen, the military is having a problem with weapons disappearing. And these weapons are turning up on the street and being used in crimes. So we know these weapons are not disappearing by themselves. It is an inside job within the military. And I would not be surprised if they're selling these guns out on the streets. So this came out on Fox News, and this is the 15th of June, 2021. U.S. military guns keep vanishing, some used in street crimes. There's always some corruption. See, that's why this system got to go. The whole thing is so badly corrupted, you just can't fix it. In the first public account of its kind in decades, an Associated Press investigator has found at least 1,900 U.S. military firearms were stolen or lost during the 2010s, with some resurfacing in violent crimes. And that certainly is an undercount. So they're saying the 1,900 they know of is actually an undercount. It's way more. And I believe that. The government records covering the Army, Marine Corps, Navy, and Air Force show pistols, machine guns, shotguns, and automatic assault rifles have vanished from armories, supply warehouses, Navy warships, and elsewhere. These weapons of war disappeared because of security failures that until now have not been publicly reported, including sleeping troops and a surveillance system that didn't record. Well, how stupid. So anybody could have walked away and there's no recording of it. And you allow your military that should be protecting the weapons and ammunition to sit there and sleep. In one case, authorities linked Army pistols stolen from Fort Bragg, North Carolina, to 4 shootings in New York before it was recovered. Another stolen Army pistol was used in Boston. This was a street robbery it was used in. This country should be deeply ashamed. You should be deeply ashamed. Weapon theft or loss spanned the military's global footprint. The Afghanistan, someone cut the padlock on the Army container and stole 65 Beretta M9s. So what these containers, what were they made of? Plastic? It cut right through and got that many? The same type of gun recovered in New York. The war zone theft went undetected for weeks. So they don't know how long this has been going on. I'm sure it's been going on well beyond weeks. Well beyond that. When empty pistol boxes were discovered in the compound, weapons were not recovered. So most of them that were taken were never recovered. Wow. Mm, mm, mm. While AP's focus was firearm, military explosives also have been lost or stolen, including armor-piercing grenades that ended up in the Atlanta backyard in an incident, and many other military investigators closed the case without finding the person responsible. Mhm. The Pentagon used to share annual updates about stolen weapons with Congress. But that requirement ended years ago, and public accountability has slipped. The Army and the Air Force could readily tell AP how many weapons were lost or stolen between 2010 and 2019. Wow. So, according to this, they lost 1,179 rifles, 694 handguns, machine guns 74, grenade launchers 36, rocket launchers 34, and mortar 25. That is outrageous. This is your military. So the AT built its own database by reviewing records, including hundreds of military criminal cases and data. So they went through the registries for small arms as well as internal military analysis. In its account, whenever possible, AP eliminated cases in which firearms were lost in combat, during accidents such as aircraft crashes and similar incidents where the weapon's fate was known. So I guess car crashes, Jeep crashes and all that stuff, helicopter crashes. All right. From the start of the report 10 years ago, armed services have been reluctant to share information. For years, the Army suppressed the release of information. Unlike the other branches, the Air Force has released no data at all. Military weapons are especially vulnerable to corrupt insiders responsible for securing them. They know how to exploit weak points within armories or the military enormous supply chain. Often from the lower ranks, they may see a chance to make a buck from a military that can afford it. Yeah, that's what they're virtually doing. I bet you every single one of those weapons that were stolen out of there were sold. Theft or loss happen more often than the Army has publicly acknowledged. During the initial interview, Miller significantly understated the extent to which weapons disappear, citing records. The report only a few hundred missing rifles and handguns. An internal Army analysis that the AP obtained said there was 1,303 firearms. So when they were asking the Army, how many weapons did you lose? They tried to say it was just a few hundred, but that's not true. Okay, we have a very inventory inventory of several million of these weapons, the Pentagon spokesperson John Kirby said in an interview. We take this very seriously and we think we do a very good job. That doesn't mean that there aren't losses. It doesn't mean that there aren't mistakes made. Okay, so what are you doing to correct it? Because y'all not saying very much about that at all. So, ladies and gentlemen, you could be getting shot by a U.S. government handgun for the military. And many of these crimes that we're looking at in these shootings, those could be military weapons too. You know? Wow. What a blunder, America. What a blunder. But y'all, please tell me what you think. I am not surprised that this is happening. You know, these folks always want you to believe they are so efficient at everything, but we're not seeing that at all. We're not. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.